Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. So the legendary actor Seputla Sebogodi was finally laid to rest yesterday at Silicon Cemetery in Polokwane. This comes after an initial dispute over his burial, with Seputla's village family led by his sister Merikau wanting him to be buried in Ramogale Village, GaMothapo in Limpopo, while his wife and children wanted him to be buried at Silicon Cemetery in Polokwane. Now, while Seputla's sister publicly expressed her disapproval of his new wife, saying they don't even know where she comes from because they've never met her as a family in the village and that they were only married for 6 months, Seputla's own children united with his new wife and did not entertain the dispute through the media. So Seputla's sister was the only one constantly speaking to the media, including giving an exclusive interview to Daily Sun this past Monday and speaking to SABC after attending the memorial service in Polokwane on Friday, the night before the funeral. She continued expressing that she was unhappy that Seputla's wife was not communicating with the family and insisted that her brother should be buried in the village where his mother is buried. She also said she was going to the funeral the next day because she wanted to see her brother's body after claiming she had not been allowed to do so. She did attend the funeral and was even invited to recite a traditional clan poem during the burial, a ritual performed to introduce the deceased to his ancestors. However, whilst reciting the poem, she almost caused a scene by throwing subtle remarks at the end, saying, "Rest well, my mother's son, don't have any doubts, we are not the ones that brought you here, it is your wife who did that." I think they were expecting her to cause a scene. I mean, we were also expecting her to cause a scene based on what we've seen on the media. So she was stopped before the situation could escalate into what could have been a bigger confrontation. Watching this reminded me of that sister or Rakadi who went viral for causing a scene during the pandemic, saying, "She brought an effing man in my brother's house. Don't you dare." Anyway, I like that through all of this, for the sake of Seputla's memory, the wife and his children did not give attention to the media. They continued with their plans to give the father and husband a dignified send-off with 2 memorial services, one at the State Theatre in Pretoria this past Thursday and another at Jack Hall in Polokwane this past Friday. They concluded with a funeral service yesterday at Jack Hall in Polokwane, followed by a burial at Silicon Cemetery, also in Polokwane. Their unity was even more visible when Seputla's children came on stage to honor him. Seputla's biological son called on his stepsister to read a letter from Seputla's wife, who is her mother, Seputla's son respectfully referring to the wife as Mama. The stepdaughter then joined Seputla's biological children and stood with them while his son Thabang Sebogodi paid tribute to his father. I mean, even the MC and actress Ramogale complimented how united they are, saying that if the stepdaughter had not mentioned that she was a stepdaughter, no one would have known because they resemble one another and are so united. Here are some of the speeches from Seputla's daughter and his son Thabang Sebogodi.
Khozo le gae mama khopela o ntshwarele ke la le auso mong wa ka o tshwere lengwalo la mama me khopela a lebala
Tabela nna ke nna Mmalashi Semenya. I am Seputla's stepdaughter. I'm going to read on behalf of my mother. I stand here today with a heart full of gratitude and grief, thanking God for an incredible blessing of giving you to me. The love we shared was so deep that standard words cannot contain it. From the moment God's love brought our paths together, my life was forever changed. I accept your passing as God's will, holding on to the unwavering promise that our love will continue forever. I still fondly remember the time we met, when we sat down to speak about my time as the MEC of Sports, Arts and Culture. I thought we were having a serious and professional conversation, but later that night, you sent me a message that made me smile. You said, "I didn't even hear anything you said. I was just admiring your beauty." I tried to play hard to get in the beginning, but it didn't take long for the feeling to become entirely mutual. You never hesitated about what you wanted. You never said you want a girlfriend. You said you want a wife. And you saw that woman in me. From that day on, no matter where you were in the world, I never went to sleep without receiving a good night text telling me how much you love me. And without fail, you would always, and I mean always, ask me, how is the most beautiful woman in the world? God wove our lives together in ways that felt completely ordained. We shared our family backgrounds. We discovered that both of our mothers shared the name of Anna, and we both had Tapelo children. We had children named Tapelo. I remember the first time I introduced you to my children. You were so overwhelmed and nervous, especially realizing that my firstborn was older than your oldest son. Yet you stepped into their lives with so much warmth. I loved how deeply you loved your children, and I'm so grateful that you brought them into my life, making them my own. In the exact same way, you embraced my children as your own. Anytime I referred to my children, you would immediately correct me and say, no, our children. We shared so many sweet, simple dreams for the future. We were anticipating a long life together, growing old, drinking tea with biscuits, and watching our grandchildren run around us. The only thing we could never agree on was football. As a devoted Pirates fan, you spent much time trying to recruit me away from Kaizer Chiefs. To our children, thank you from the bottom of my heart, and thank you for giving your father such a dignified, beautiful farewell. I'm here to hold you, to stand by you, and to support you through it all. My love, through my heartache, I surrender to God's plan. Thank you for the devotion, the laughter, and the endless love you gave me. Until we drink that tea together again, you will remain the love of my life. Rest well, my darling. Thank you.
Khozo. Yane, oroitsi wa tla wa e baka. Seputla. Ore ke re mrio. Bobla. Ngwaneso. Boy, waka nane ku bitsa bafonzi wa izintwe magatsang gore single ra bolela ka subject e are mfanaka kora rwena henga robala o tlo bolela Spitori kora ha o tlo bolela Setswana. How do you bolela Sepedi gore o tlo bye ka Spitori? Hawa lena language nyane nyane at least we perfect ke ra hawa yo yona ka se khone are okay if you will be out then at least lena ho opela ke re papa I think e padile khale na le ba opela ka mo family nna awa asen mara nge ke khona opela ne ke lore o mohau wa modimo Agena manji. But I feel like I would miss an opportunity if I did not say, please sign the performance protection bill. Kore yona sontse ke no e bolela hore he re ntse re bolela di speech re ntse re bolela bophelo ba hae. I think we must not forget hore ne le motho a leng, I mean, after all, he was one of the ex generation 16. So yeah, he tells where he stood. Ka that ntwela ne ke re ke tlo bolela tse dintši mara I think henka bolela tse dintši nka se fetse ka gore a ke khole, but also at the same time dilo tse di diragalang o tswile bo wena kore this whole week ne ke ntse ko bona kore it was almost like all the conversations we've had, they are coming true. And Kori, I'll just read a poem when I was at a crossroads in my life. And instead of shouting, because negetwa it's already because I feel like I got the worst of it all. Because the stories about no dad, no, I don't agree with that. It's like you don't agree? I'll go hella. Otherwise, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your masters, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch things you give life to, broken, and stood and build them with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose, and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve, see when to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foe or loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds of worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that is in it. And which is more, you will be a man, my son. And with that, Papa, Seputla Sebogodi, there is a picture wrap for you.
re a leboga bana ba Seputla Sebogodi. Ene shem le tshwananyana bjang. Le tshwananyana bjang. Ene nthabunya ke lo re ba izisha wa tsebo. Ga nke bo se re step be re ka se be o tsebo re bolela ka eng. Ya le so ene ke ka nkgo go nyakegang ka gona.